Have you seen the new Doors teaser yet? I mean, you've probably watched this teaser video, but have you really dug deep into it and found all the mysterious truths hidden within the cracks? As you probably know, every day up until the Garden Subfloor release, a sneak peek featuring upcoming content will be shown. And today's teaser is definitely interesting, due to the insane amount of secrets hiding in plain sight. I mean, we were revealed another new item, like the fourth one we have been revealed so far, a brand new game-changing feature that will be sure to help us going further, some mysterious new item remodels, and some crazy other features that you probably don't want to miss. We have got a lot to cover in today's upload. So, with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so in case you haven't seen it already, today's teaser mainly focuses on a brand new and hopefully beneficial feature coming in the next update, those being save files. Now, we were first introduced this feature a few days ago in a previous daily teaser, but today's sneak peek gave us an expanded view on them. Essentially, the way they work is that players will now have the ability to leave a run and rejoin it whilst keeping all their progress. Now hold on, before you start jumping for joy, this is extremely limited, as you'll only be able to do this between floors and subfloors, not whilst you are in the middle of a round. The new teaser shows this perfectly in action. As demonstrated, when a player is entering either a new floor or subfloor, they have the option to either continue the run into the floor or save the run and leave the game. Continuing the run functions like how it works currently. You click the button, wait a little, and then you can immediately play the floor or subfloor. Saving the run is a little different though, as it allows you to access the floor or subfloor whenever you want, like an hour or a day later, and you don't lose any progress. As shown in the video, the player chooses to save their run whilst entering the room's subfloor. Then, in the lobby, they are able to start in the rooms from where they left off, with their entire inventory still intact. Now, eagle-eyed viewers may notice the new compass item in the player's inventory, and trust me, we will discuss this later, but right now we'll focus on saves. Now, players can only save a certain amount of games, and by extension resume them, at a single time. By default, each player appears to only have the ability to save 3 games at once. However, there is a way to increase that number. According to some leaks, a new Game Pass will be introduced in the update which grants anyone who purchases it the ability to save an additional game, increasing their save slots to 4. The Game Pass is relatively cheap, so if you plan to have multiple playthroughs saved at once, then this may be a worthwhile purchase. However, overall, I see this as being a very beneficial feature for players who wish to pause the game and join where they left off if they have to leave a playthrough for whatever reason. Now, that is what the developers wanted you to take away from this new teaser, but there are actually a boatload of secrets hidden within the video that you may not have noticed. Let's start with one of the most obvious, that being the new item. As you probably noticed, in the player's inventory is a new item that appears to be a compass. Now, based on previous teasers, we know that item skins will be coming in the next update, so although it's possible this is an item skin, I have reason to doubt that. You see, typically item skins are obviously stand-ins for normal items. For example, the one crucifix skin shown to us is still a crucifix, it's just overgrown with vegetation. However, indoors, there exists no item remotely similar to the compass, leading me to believe that this will be an entirely new item with a completely unique purpose. Now, as to what that purpose may be, I'd have 2 main ideas. As you probably know, compasses point you in a certain direction, so I believe that this new compass will either point you towards a quest item such as keys, books, and fuses, or it could point you towards a non-quest item like a lockpick or something like that. Another theory I had is maybe it could point you towards some type of high-quality loot container, such as a vine-covered chest, but really, it's up to your interpretation for how this item could work. Moving on though, the next secret in the sneak peek is the redesign of an existing item, or should I say decoration, that being the room's padlock. Now, as you probably know, in order to access the rooms, you need to unlock 2 padlocks with a skeleton lock with lockpicks and a skeleton key respectively. However, the design of the padlocks on specifically the room's entrance will be changing in the next update. If we take a look at the padlocks in this teaser, we can see that they are now sporting a Curious Light themed design, featuring the architect's symbol on them. This really isn't too major of a change, however, given how closely associated the rooms are to Curious Light, this definitely makes a lot of sense to better connect the entrance to the character. I will say though that something strange about this new Curious Light padlock design is that on the Curious Light symbol 2 holes can be seen. This could just be nothing, like how it could be where the lockpicks are inserted, but who knows, maybe it is more important than what we are letting it on to be. I just thought it was worth mentioning as it is a little strange. Next up though, we finally got confirmation for a very long-standing mystery about these daily teasers. Essentially, one of the first teasers we received showcased two mysterious new blurred-out features, those being a new currency and a new UI button in the lobby. The currency was later revealed to be Stardust, but for a little bit of time, players were wondering what this new UI button was. The most common theory surrounding it was that it was actually a backpack icon, and clicking the button would result in a menu popping up showcasing all the item skins you own. Now back then, this was just a theory, a likely theory, but it wasn't confirmed. That is, until today, as when the player in this video heads back to the lobby, we can see an unblurred version of this UI icon, and just like we all predicted, it was a backpack. Now its functionality is still unknown, but given how it is a backpack, I still think it's very likely it will be the place where players can store item skins. Still, I'm glad we now have a confirmed appearance of this new UI button. Lastly though, the final secret I'd like to discuss from this teaser video relates to the garden subfloor. When the player opens the elevator creation menu, we can see that in addition to it receiving an entirely new look, one of the subfloors has been redacted. This subfloor obviously is meant to be the garden, and it's obscured as the developers don't want to reveal to us what its official name is. However, what I find interesting is that in addition to obscuring the garden subfloor, this redacted bar also obscures something else. This is evident by how two colors can be seen above and below the bar, those being red and yellow. And given how each subfloor and floor consists of a single colored border, and how the redacted bar is way too wide to fit just one subfloor button, there has to be something else behind it. Now as to what this is, I'm completely uncertain. It's definitely not another subfloor, I'll say that. But given how it is redacted, I assume it's another feature the developers don't want us to know about just yet. Still, I thought I would mention it here, as it definitely is thought-provoking. Anyways, to summarize, a brand new save file feature is coming to doors, which allows players to save their progress in between floors, such as if you are moving to the rooms from the hotel. Additionally, a new compass item will be added, which is believed to point you towards a quest or normal item, or maybe even something else entirely, such as a rare loot container. Those are just my guesses though, so take it with a grain of salt. Moreover, the padlocks on the room's entrance will be receiving a curious light-themed redesign. And lastly, a mysterious new feature is hiding behind the redacted bar in the elevator create screen. Overall, this was definitely one of the more interesting teasers we received, due to the sheer amount of secrets hidden inside of it. And I do wonder what the answers are to those inexplicable questions, such as what's behind the redacted bar that has to be kept a secret. Anyways, with all of that being said, let me know in the comments what you think of the secrets in the sneak peek, and thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.